If you ever wanted to relive a lot of North Carolina history in just a few blocks of one town, there might not be a better place than Hillsborough. It can trace its beginnings to a 1,000-year-old Native American settlement where an important trading path crossed the Eno River. Or to the time of the Declaration of Independence, signed by one of its sons, William Hooper. Hillsborough became a center of the resistance to unfair colonial rule years before the Revolution. In fact, 6 members of the Regulator movement were hanged here for treason by Governor Tryon in 1771. The town was taken over and used as headquarters by Lord Cornwallis in 1781 at the end of the Revolution. And in 1788, on this site where the old courthouse stands, North Carolina delegates refused to approve the new Constitution of the United States because it lacked a Bill of Rights. Later, it became a thriving commercial center where fortunes were made, like one by William Kirkland, who in 1815 built a fine home here. It survives to this day, thanks to the efforts of North Carolina native Richard Jenrette. You can visit this building, now the Visitor Center, where in April 1865, General Joseph Johnson prepared to surrender the last major Confederate forces to General Sherman. Many of North Carolina's treasured writers have chosen to live here. Allen Gurganus, David Payne, Michael Malone, Randall Keenan, Annie Dillard, Lee Smith, Hal Crowther, and many more. Why so many authors in one place? Is it the history, the comfortable small-town atmosphere, or, as someone has suggested, maybe there's just something in the water?
There have always been a lot of writers and artists and dreamers and thinkers and kind of unusual people of all sorts who have fetched up here in Hillsborough. Because for one thing, it's physically beautiful. It's restful. It has all these gardens and trees and places to hide out. And like any other small southern town, it's very tolerant of its eccentrics. And we need that. Right downtown on King Street is interesting to me because those few little stores right along there are kind of the perfect sort of paradigm of Hillsborough to me, of the New South, because you have Cup of Joe with its latte and its trendy mixes of stuff, and right next door you have the bait shop, you know, Carolina Gun and Bait, and right across the street you've got Wesley Wood's fabulous Dual Supply, where nothing has changed on the shelf since 1925 or something. And then you've got Evelyn's Lloyd Pharmacy, same thing, where her daddy was the pharmacist for years and years. You know, so we have this wonderful mix of the new and the old. Writers always live in the presence of ghosts, because all you have is your memory in the past, and that's always what we're drawing on. You know, nobody is ever writing about what happened Tuesday. Writers are always living with ghosts.
Writers aren't the only folks drawn to Hillsborough. Wonderful gardens and enthusiastic gardeners abound. Every 2 years in the spring, the local garden club sponsors a garden tour. It draws visitors from all over the region.
I think that Hillsborough has its own resonating charm and elegance, and all of these people that come back each time are smitten by something in our beautiful town or by someone's garden. And the purpose of the garden tour is for the Alliance to be able to utilize the funds that we raise to sustain the historic buildings downtown and to use them for various projects, and also to be able to foster more awareness of our lovely little community and bring people here as a destination.
But good living is not all there is in this town. In this old church, which looks like it could have been picked up and moved from England, there is a pastor who can tell us about another side of Hillsborough.
St. Matthew's Parish founded at the same time as Orange County. So the history of this parish and the history of Hillsborough are completely intertwined and interwoven. But Hillsborough is not just about heritage. It's also about caring for the well-being of the entire community. Early in my ministry here in the early 1990s, we experienced the devastation of a tornado that came through the western part of Hillsborough. And to see this community rally around to support those who were directly affected by that tornado, that kind of engagement is part of what we're trying to do. As folks continue to move into this community, that we find a way to make sure that they understand the complexity and the diversity and the nature of this community, and to invite them to participate in serving others.
Next time you're close by, why don't you take a few minutes for a history lesson in this lively little town of Hillsborough.